emotionally vulnerable, right? Just imagine that this is your boyfriend or your husband, and this is what he's doing when he just came back from work and he had a bad day. That right in front of your face. How would you feel?
I have a reckless mouth because when I argue, I ain't playing the little, well, your mama this, your mama. No, nigga, I'm going for the jugular. I gotta chop your tree down. And the thing is that I'm gonna take it to what's gonna hurt you. With your no money making ass. With your, I can't pay the light bill ass.
What is a slick tongue?
And I can use like when a time where you decided to be vulnerable with me and then in an argument.
Fucked up. That's fucked up.
Son.
I'm working on that. In an argument, it was something about the kids, and I said that ain't your fucking kid anyway.
Whoa.
See, and that was ugly.
Whoa.
It's not the fact that all women will use your vulnerabilities against you. It's all women are capable of using your vulnerabilities against you.
Let's say here's 10,000 rattlesnakes coming to bite me. And in those 10,000, there was 1,000 that didn't mean no harm. And I knew there was a good 1,000 snakes out there, but they all look alike. Now, what should I do? Should I keep the door open and let the 10,000 in, hoping that the 1,000 will unite and save me and one bite will kill me? Or should I just be safe and shut the door?
So I'm not with nobody, cause I don't wanna hurt nobody. Did it over text, didn't call me. Still got love for your mommy. I know you wanna be somebody, even if you gotta leave somebody.
The first topic that I want to discuss, and you guys know I'm a huge mental health advocate. I've been in mental health. It's going on actually 6 years now. During 2017, which was 2 years before I retired from the military, I decided to go to mental health therapy because I knew that I had issues in regards to relationships. And that was actually cultivated by the military. I deployed 10 times. So me having my commitment issues, I wanted to make sure that I addressed those in mental health. So when I did retire and I had the time to cultivate a real relationship, I wanted to be whole for the woman that I decided to settle down with, or the woman that I met. And I also addressed some family issues. I also addressed military issues, battles with anxiety, all these things. So mental health is very important to me. And the reason why I wanted to discuss this is because I keep seeing videos, constant videos from men and women asking men to be emotionally vulnerable. And I don't think that women and also men understand how taxing that can be for most men, especially if you're trying to be emotionally vulnerable with a woman, when we have all these examples of how that can go bad. So I want to play you this video from the cruise season. I love what those gentlemen are doing over there. Those young men have built a platform that is very respectful. I enjoy watching their content, but it was just one thing that stuck out to me in regards to this video that they posted on Instagram. So let's get to it.
There's strength in building a bond with somebody you know whenever you're at your lowest, they could bring you to your highest. And if you can't do that with the person that you love the most dearly for the rest of your life, then I don't get the point of even having them there.
So basically what this young man was saying, he was alluding to the fact that if you pick a woman to either be in a long-term relationship with, or you decide to marry this woman, if you can't be emotionally vulnerable with her, then you pick the wrong woman. And I actually disagree. When a man decides to open up to you and tell you his deepest, darkest secrets, it takes a lot of strength and courage to do that. But we also know in the back of our head that that can be used as leverage against men. My stance is this, and I want to be clear on this. It's not the fact that every woman will tell a man's deepest, darkest secrets. Absolutely not. It's the fact that all women are capable of telling your deepest, darkest secrets, and they will use that when they either get mad, some will. We all heard the term, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And you guys basically know what that means. Women use their words. They're not going to beat men physically for the most part, but there's power in the tongue. And women use that against men in arguments, and it's wrong. So to combat that, I always tell men, do not be open with women, emotionally vulnerable, because like I said, there's a lot of women saying it's okay when if a guy cries in front of me and so on and so forth. You say that now, But I have an example for you, and I want the ladies in the comment section to really watch this. But yeah, it's very tough, and it's a very thin line that men and women are asking more men to be emotionally vulnerable. I don't even want my future wife to have that burden on her. So if I tell her all my deepest, darkest secrets, and she is even tempted to use that against me, I don't even want her to have that internal battle with herself to think about that. Well, I could say this to hurt him even more because I think that he's hurting me now. I'm not even going to put her in that situation. And this is the reason why I tell men to go to therapy for that. I'm not telling men to sit there and tell your woman all your deepest, darkest secrets and just unload on her, because she's going to look at you as a lesser of a man. Where when men cry in front of women, they, okay, cool. One time is cool, but every time you lose a job or, or something happens that you think is tough, you sitting there crying on my shoulder, that's a problem. So that's why I tell men, please go to therapy. If this is something that you're battling with and you're always trying to unload on the women that you're in relationships with or your wife, no, you use therapy for that. Also, if therapy is one of the first step, the second step would be to talk to your male friends, because we are more solution based. So if you come to us with a problem and let's say you break down and you start crying, we're not going to judge you because we know how strong you are. And for you to be sitting here crying, it must be important. So we want to do everything that we can to make sure that you get through whatever you're going through. But like I said, when you do that with the majority of women, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage because she's going to look at you as less of a man. So I keep trying to harp on this point because I keep hearing guys say this, right? Be more emotionally vulnerable. But there are other steps that you can do or that you can enact to combat that. So you won't be using your wife or your girlfriend as an emotional crutch. That is not something that you want to do. Because if you're at the point as a man and you want to get married or you want to be in a serious relationship, you need to be working on yourself as well. You need to be working on your mental health, because that's one of the things that's going to stabilize the relationship. You hear women talk about this all the time, and I commend women for saying this. I'm working on myself. I need more men to do that. And what comes with that is therapy. The Black community, our numbers are too low in regards to how many of us go to therapy. I know people say, well, men don't go, our women don't go either. Let's not, act like this is something that's a huge gap. I believe less than 25% of the Black population goes to therapy, and that's incredibly lower than other races of people. But when you have people like me advocating for you and telling you I am a product of therapy, I'm telling you, I went through hell going through the military. As beneficial as it was and as it continues to be, if you've never retired from the military or spent 20 plus years, we go through a lot. So therapy was something that saved me. It was something that helped me in my relationships. It was something that helped me identify things that I didn't even know about myself. Therapy is not to give you answers. It just gives you the tools to deal with the things that you're used to going through. And like I said, I don't want my girl to deal with that. And let me be clear. I'm not saying that I'm not going to tell her important things about the household. If I lose thousands of dollars on the stock or something like that, and I'm sitting there hurt about that, right? It's not like I'm not going to tell her that because it affects her. Of course, I'm going to tell her about that. I'm going to tell her about things that directly affect her. But if you have some internal family issues, something that is embarrassing that you wouldn't want out there in the public, I would advise you not to tell your girlfriend or your wife, because I promise you, there are multiple examples, which I will show you here, where women will use that against you. It's just inherent because they have to win the argument in some way. So using their words is something that they typically do. And the reason why I say using their words is from this clip here. And also, ladies, pay attention to this first clip. And I'm going to ask you a question once we get done. To remove. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Ladies, pay attention. Just imagine that this is your boyfriend or your husband, and this is what he's doing when he just came back from work and he had a bad day. Keep this in mind. Emotionally vulnerable, right? Here we go. And came back home after a bad day at work, and he was crying like that right in front of your face. How would you feel? Is that strength? Is that sexy? Would you be okay with that? Because I've seen women do that before. My girls came to me and she had a bad day at work and she just broke down and I sat there and held her. But when I think about this, and women and men are asking guys to be more emotionally vulnerable, are you okay with your men crying like that at your feet just because they had a bad day at work? That's something that you guys need to think about. So when you ask men to be more like women, there's going to be consequences to that. Because I remember there was a MMA female fighter. She was dating an MMA fighter and he lost the fight. And he kind of curled up and she was like turned off because he was getting his ass whooped. And she was unattracted to him and she ended up breaking up with him, right? And that was a guy that was in the octagon getting his ass whooped.
We went out of country. We fought on the same card. He fought the day before me. I fought the next day. During the fight, he almost gets knocked out. As this guy is mauling him, he goes like this. What do you think I was thinking?
Your
My boyfriend
was-
like this.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
Fuck no.
Did it turn you off?
Oh my God, so much.
Whoa.
I was like, dude, you're getting fucked up, and as you're falling to the canvas, you still need to go fuck you.
Wow.
You're like, fuck you, like that.
So the way he
Has
was
to
getting
be.
beaten was fucking with you.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that he was getting beaten.
I don't
It was
care.
just
I
that
don't.
he was, like,
I don't
shying
care.
away.
Yeah, I don't care if
That he wasn't
You're
digging
not
in.
gonna. Yeah. Like you gotta fucking like take that shit.
Take it.
Yeah, like like a champ or like a fighter.
Right.
Yeah, you can't be like.
Wow.
So just imagine if your man comes to you and he's crying like that, how would you feel? Think about that. So this is another part from his stand-up Vicious Circle, where he talks about how women use their words against. Probably told his girl something about his father in regards to his dad being stupid, and she used that against him in an argument. And it's like, man, at first you're like, oh, this don't mean anything. But then when you start to think about it, like, man, what the hell? Why would you use that against me? Why would you say that about my father? So these are things that come with being emotionally vulnerable to women, because you're going to put her in a position to where in order to defend herself, she's going to feel that she's going to use something to hurt you so she can win the argument. And I know there's going to be guys or women that's going to watch this and they're going to say, well, not all women, but like I said, go back to what I said before. It's not the fact that all women will use your vulnerabilities against you. It's all women are capable of using your vulnerabilities against you.
Let's say here's 10,000 rattlesnakes coming to bite me. And in those 10,000, there was 1,000 that didn't mean no harm. And I knew there was a good 1,000 snakes out there, but they all look alike. Now, what should I do? Should I keep the door open and let the 10,000 in, hoping that the 1,000 will unite and save me and one bite will kill me? Or should I just be safe and shut the door?
And in order to combat that, just don't tell her. Therapy, your male friends, hobbies, something else. Don't tell your girl about that, because it's going to be an internal battle within herself not to use it. If you care about her, I wouldn't even put her in that situation. So let's look at some of these examples in regards to how women use your vulnerabilities against you. There may be some people that think I'm lying. Let's check it out.
And told her that his mom or something told him that he was a disappointment. Later down the line, she's kept that in the back of her head. Months and months later, they get into an argument. And she's like, and that's why you're a disappointment.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
And I was like,
I have a reckless mouth because when I argue, I ain't playing the little, well, your mama this, your mama. No, nigga, I'm going for the jugular. I gotta chop your tree down. And the thing is that I'm gonna take it to what's gonna hurt you. With your no money making ass. With your, I can't pay the light bill ass.
What is a slick tongue?
And I can use like when a time where you decided to be vulnerable with me and then in an argument.
That's fucked up.
Yo, son.
I'm working on that. In an argument, it was something about the kids, and I said that ain't your fucking kid anyway.
Whoa.
See, and that was ugly.
Whoa.
Sheesh. There's a lot of reason as to why I say that. It's just to sum this up. I'm not saying that you don't need to be, open with things that affect your woman. If you're in a relationship or you're married, yes. If it affects the household, of course, you tell your wife or you tell your girlfriend, your long-term girlfriend, but things that have to do with your past, things that you may have went through that you don't want anybody to know, and you feel so close to this woman that you want to tell her everything because you trust her, I would say seek therapy. Or I would say go to your male friends and talk that out. Because being emotionally vulnerable with women, it may be a lose-lose situation. Because how long does that emotional vulnerability last? Let's say that you're in a loving relationship and everything is going great. You've told this woman everything. You are emotionally vulnerable. You told her about your past. Let's say you may have got touched as a kid. You tell your woman all this stuff, right? And I hate to go that dark, but I have to use this as an example. And you cheat on your girlfriend or on your wife, and you're getting a divorce. Is your wife obligated to keep your secrets internalized, or does she have the right to now tell everything to shame you because you cheated on her? Y'all have to think about that. This vulnerability stuff, or her keeping your deepest, darkest secrets in, there's a time limit. Because if you do something wrong to her, she is definitely going to feel entitled to tell all your deepest, darkest secrets because you hurt her. That goes back to the hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. So if you cheat on your girl and she leaves you and you done told her everything, now social media is there. Her friends are there. Now they know everything about you because she's mad at you. She's hurt. So she wants to use that against you. I would not feel comfortable in a relationship knowing that somebody had that over me. So now I have to stay in line, because if we do break up, then she may use it against me. I don't want to put my girl in that situation. And I wouldn't want y'all to put your girl in that situation, or your wife, to where she feels like she has something over you that can hurt you. And that's crazy to me. But that's all from men being vulnerable. So if you have to deal with your emotional vulnerability or any secrets that you have, I'm telling you, gentlemen, go to therapy. Talk to your male friends. It helps. I promise you.